Hello, Namaskar, welcome you to the SAAR Analysis. I am Chaman Nayak and here's my take. What if the biggest geopolitical battle inside NATO isn't just about Russia but about Greenland? A frozen island of just 57,000 people has suddenly become one of the world's most contested strategic assets. And when the President of United States openly criticized NATO for resisting America's ambition over Greenland, this stop is being a territorial dispute. It is becoming a test of alliance unity itself. Now here's what data speaks about and here's what this makes an extraordinary. Greenland sits between North America and Europe, controls the vital Arctic Sea lanes, hosts the critical rare earth mineral reserves, and occupies the most strategic military position on Earth. As the Arctic ice melts, new shipping routes and resource opportunities are emerging, the turning Greenland into geopolitical prize worth far more than its population suggests. Now here's what evidence speaks about. That evidence story is not simply Donald Trump renewed interest in Greenland. The real story is that the strategic priorities inside NATO are beginning to diverge. Washington increasingly viewed the Arctic through the lens of great power competition with China and Russia. The Denmark, which governs the Greenland as autonomy territory, sees the issues as one of the most sovereign and international law. For Copenhagen, the Greenland is not just bargain chip. For Washington, it is a critical strategic asset. When these two perspectives collide publicly, the debate moves beyond diplomacy into question about the future cohesion of the Western alliances. Now the question arises, why is this important? This matters because NATO's greatest strength has never been the military hardware alone. It is about the political trust. Now, if the alliance members begin to disagree over the sovereignty while simultaneously confronting Russia in Europe and China's growing Arctic ambition, the alliance faces a far more complex challenge than increasingly defense spending. Well, the Arctic is rapidly becoming one of the world's most geopolitical theaters. Whoever shapes its future will influence global shipping, energy security, rare earth minerals, missile defense, and even the military deterrence for decades. Well, Greenland is no longer just a remote island, it is becoming a strategic corridor in the 21st century. Now let's look at the bigger picture. This episode sends a message far beyond NATO. Russia will closely watch whether this Western alliances remains politically united. China will assess whether the internal disagreements create opportunity to expand in the Arctic influence. Meanwhile, this smaller nation will observe whether the strategic geography can outweigh the long-standing principle of sovereignty. The implications extend far beyond Greenland. They touch the credibilities of the rules-based international order itself. Now here's my take. History repeatedly shows that alliances are rarely tested during the moments of agreement. They are tested when the national interests begin to diverge. But the Greenland debate is not fundamentally about acquiring territory. It is about whether this strategic necessity can coexist with the respect for sovereign inside the world's most powerful military alliance. How NATO manages this disagreement may prove just important as how it responds to the external rivals. The world's attention is often drawn to the wars are already underway, and the most consensual geopolitical shift begins with the disagreement between allies. Because when the trust inside the alliance starts to fracture, the global balance of power quietly begins to change. That's all from today's analysis. I will be back with another episode. Till then, thank you for watching this.